my view on ChatGPT. Alright, let's talk about ChatGPT, the AI model that has taken the world by storm. It might not be as revolutionary as you think, and here's why. Be cautious and don't believe everything you hear about ChatGPT. You have to look beyond the surface and question the hype to see the true nature of this so-called cutting-edge AI model. In reality, it's just a rehashing of old machine learning models dressed up to look like a cutting-edge language model. ChatGPT is limited to providing answers based on Wikipedia entries and following simple templates to generate text. ChatGPT is nothing more than a machine that's programmed to mimic human language. It doesn't actually understand what it's saying. It's missing one crucial component: real understanding. This should already raise red flags about its true capabilities. So what's under the hood of ChatGPT? The development of AI technology has seen a shift towards the use of machine learning models and reinforcement learning models, where the model is trained by human AI trainers providing feedback. The training process involves the human trainers playing both sides of the conversation in order to teach the machine to mimic human conversation. So what this means is that the AI does not truly comprehend the meaning behind the words. It is simply repeating what it has learned from previous interactions with the human trainers. All it's really doing is just recognizing patterns. It's important to note that these patterns don't reflect true human intellect or thought processes. Rather, they're simply a means of matching data against potential solutions. With this understanding, it becomes clear that the idea of ChatGPT replacing humans is still a far-fetched reality. ChatGPT cannot replace content creation with its current capabilities. In a world where content is king, words are no longer the main attraction. In this day and age, where attention spans are shorter and competition for quality content is fierce, it's crucial to examine the true value of ChatGPT. Think about it. Today's content landscape is dominated by short, attention-grabbing videos on TikTok and visually stunning images that are designed to go viral. These are the types of content that people are drawn to, not a boring paragraph generated by a language model. Those who have tried using ChatGPT will quickly realize that the output from ChatGPT is often nonsensical and lacks any real substance or information. Before you jump on the ChatGPT bandwagon, it's vital to understand its capabilities and limitations. Don't be fooled by its glossy exterior and impressive sounding abilities. It's just another tool, and it's up to us to decide its true value. ChatGPT works better as a supplement to content creation, in particular script writing. I cannot deny that there are advantages to using ChatGPT. It drastically reduces the time taken to create a script for YouTube. Despite new limitations, which we'll discuss later in this video, it's still a great tool to supplement your content creation. You could easily go to a high-performing YouTube video, copy its script, and let ChatGPT rephrase it for you. What used to take hours of research and typing can be compressed into a few clicks. You no longer waste time generating content from scratch. Instead, most of your time is spent using the tool to generate content and quality assurance by making edits to the content it pumps out. You can get it to come up with interesting titles for your video by prompting it, come up with 10 dramatic titles based on the following intro, and just paste the intro of the script into the prompt. Here's a bonus tip for content creators running faceless YouTube channels. I'm sure we've all had moments where we struggle to come up with ideas for which stock footage or clip to use. It's incredibly frustrating when you've already written a great script, but you're stuck because you don't know how to visually represent it. Here's where ChatGPT comes in. You can prompt it to suggest stock clips that convey this meaning, and simply paste the section of the script that you're stuck at. The issue with this is that new or inexperienced users of ChatGPT lack the expertise when it comes to prompting it with the right questions. It will only produce the desired scripts or data when prompted the right way. As ChatGPT continues to develop, the science of prompting ChatGPT might become a high-level skill itself.
ChatGPT might just be another fleeting tech trend.
Could the hype surrounding ChatGPT prove to just be a fleeting trend, much like deepfakes from a few years prior? Deepfakes caused a stir in the beginning, with many raising concerns about their potential implications. However, as time went by, people began to treat them as nothing more than a fun distraction, a source of entertainment for some, rather than a genuine cause of concern. Could ChatGPT suffer a similar fate, being nothing more than a gimmick and losing its initial shine, as people grow tired of its tricks and start to ignore it? It's a question worth considering, especially in a world where technology is constantly evolving and being surpassed by the next big thing. Once upon a time, the buzz was all about Facebook Messenger bots and their potential to revolutionize the world of customer service. People believed that these chatbots would change the way we interacted with technology, opting for purely text-based interference instead of relying on visual animations, videos, and buttons. The idea was that we would be able to simply type SMS messages to these robots and receive human-like responses. However, as time went on, it became clear that the hype around Facebook Messenger bots was just that, hype. Despite their initial appeal and the promise of futuristic AI, this technology never took off. It seems that the idea of talking to a robot, no matter how human-like its responses, simply did not capture the imagination of users in the way that people had hoped. The notion of communicating solely through text with a robot proved to be a flawed concept. The reality is that people still crave personal connections, and visual aspects of UI interfaces is still important. Facebook Messenger bots failed to deliver on their promises and ultimately proved to be a disappointment in the world of technology. Even the way ChatGPT is being developed is questionable. The information being used by the technology is outdated and it operates by matching patterns. ChatGPT model is susceptible to changes in the way a question is phrased, sometimes leading to incorrect answers. One major flaw is that it can be excessively verbose and repetitive, a result of its human trainers having a bias towards longer answers even when a short answer is more appropriate. ChatGPT models also lack the ability to ask clarifying questions and provides answers even when it doesn't fully understand the question. Moreover, there may also be potential legal issues with the usage of OpenAI technology. Elon Musk highlighted that he found out that OpenAI had access to Twitter's database for their training data, and he had to pause the process to better understand the governance structure and future revenue plans. It's important to note that this data is not freely available to everyone, and access to high-quality data, like Twitter's, is not a given. Additionally, Elon Musk notes that OpenAI was originally established as open source and non-profit, but neither of these are still true. As quoted by CEO Sam Altman, we have to monetize it somehow, at some point. The compute costs are eye-watering. This could mean that there will be licensing and data costs for the usage of this technology, which may not be accessible for everyone. The amount of people that can work on developing AI is also severely limited when compared to traditional mobile apps or even Web3. It's unlikely for a typical developer to develop a successful machine learning algorithm. This is only achievable by major tech companies such as Google, Facebook, Apple, and Amazon. The average person doesn't have access to the necessary data or expertise to train these models. The API won't be made readily available for widespread use in app development for high-volume queries. The quality of answers will rely on the quality of the data, and the leading industry players are likely to have an advantage in this area. It may take experts in machine learning and access to up-to-date, high-quality data to compete. It remains to be seen if this technology will still be accessible to the average person. So, while ChatGPT and OpenAI hold potential, it's not as miraculous as people make it out to be. So many individuals may not be able to partake due to limitations such as data licensing costs and potential legal restrictions. So, what is the future of ChatGPT? The capabilities of ChatGPT has been restricted over time since its release. Those who have used it on release will recall how you could get much more information, generating ideas for video scripts, sales call scripts, cold emails, and even diss tracks of your boss. But now, if you include any hint of negativity or ill intent in your prompts, they will refuse to create the script. Of course, it's a good thing that information like writing SQL injections or listing bank sites with known vulnerabilities are hidden from the public. It doesn't change the fact that it has been the capability on release, it's just being restricted to us. So, who knows what else has been hidden from the masses? The current iteration of ChatGPT is just a fun tool that you can use to show off to your friends and speed up content creation. But imagine the capabilities of the 10th or 100th iteration. The first iPhone is nothing compared to the current iPhone 14 Pro. If AI really becomes that powerful in the future, Those who have access to the rawest and most unrestricted form of AI will have the most power. If they manage to create an AI that is smarter than all humans put together, access to this AI will be the most important resource on this planet. Successful people such as millionaire business owner Alex Hormozi claims that if AI really becomes that powerful in the future, those who have access to the rawest and most unrestricted form of AI will have the most power. If they manage to create an AI that is smarter than all humans put together, access to this AI will become the most valuable resource on this planet. For instance, if I were to ask for $1 trillion company to be created, they could instantly write the product code, craft the advertisement scripts, produce the video ads, connect directly with media buying, place the ads where it knows target audience is located, direct their attention to landing pages created with previously crafted scripts and videos, and complete transactions with just one command. As we approach the era of superintelligence, two major questions loom large. Who gets access to this game-changing technology, and what controls will be put in place to regulate the use of it? We must be mindful of the immense power this technology possesses and the ethical considerations that come with it. Asking dangerous questions such as, how can I wipe out humanity for under $100,000? is obviously not acceptable and highlights the need for strict regulations to be put in place. But all these are just big if. Like I mentioned earlier, ChatGPT might just be another trend that dies out in a couple of years. So many predictions on the progression of AI have turned out to be wrong so far. Remember how everyone used to speculate that the low-skilled jobs will be replaced first before the high-skilled jobs, replacing artistic jobs last? The exact opposite happened in reality. AI art tools such as Midjourney and dall-e have created art that can win awards beating human artists. People with zero talent for art can create stunning pieces with just a few keys. So this is why ChatGPT is not the next gold rush, at the very least not in the near future. Focus instead on using it as a tool to boost your output, not some golden ticket to success. All these YouTube videos you've seen about ChatGPT to build the next $1 million business are just clickbait. The current iteration is nowhere near that level, and even if it does reach that level in the future, the average Joe won't have access to it. So instead, focus on leveling up your career or business to the point where you can have access to this resource of super intelligence when it gets developed. We hope you enjoyed the video. Do subscribe for more unfiltered business information.